Chapter 30-26. Conquer the starry sky and sweep across all directions. Conquer the starry sky and sweep across all directions. A domineering voice reverberated across the entire Red Mist Race's planet. Emperor God Hongtian stood in front of the divine throne with the magnetic halo above his head, emitting a red glow. A terrifying aura was emitted from his body to the surroundings. At the same time, the disciples of the Red Mist Race shouted excitedly as their aura soared into the sky. Hee, how domineering. In front of them, the experts from the 3 top domain-level races felt the terrifying aura. A trace of seriousness flashed in their eyes as they released their own aura to resist it. Wang Xian and the rest narrowed their eyes as the yin-yang dragon coil appeared around them to resist the aura. These guys are really arrogant. Are they trying to show off their strength to the other races? Yamata no Orokai and the rest couldn't help but grumble as they swept their gaze across the experts from the Red Mist Race. From their aura, they could sense the strength of the experts from the Red Mist Race. There were 3 9th Order God Emperors, close to 28th Order God Emperors, and over 100 7th Order God Emperors. There were over 53,000 God Emperors and above. The strongest among them was still Emperor God Hongtian. His mighty power caused many experts from various clans to break out in a cold sweat. I didn't expect Emperor God Hongtian to have accumulated such a strong foundation. He's too strong. They aren't any weaker than the other domain-level races. Coupled with the fact that they belong to the Sorcerer race, the Red Mist Race can be ranked in the top 5 in this universe. So strong. Behind them, the experts of the various races felt the pressure and their expressions changed slightly. Since the establishment of the Red Mist Race, we have been recruiting experts from all walks of life. Let me first introduce the experts who have joined us. Emperor God Hongtian was very satisfied when he saw this scene and he continued to speak indifferently. I'm Dan Lun from the Red Mist Race. Greetings, everyone. I'm Exploding Mountain Giant from the Red Mist Race. Greetings, everyone. I'm an elite core disciple from the 3 Eyes race. I've joined the Red Mist Race. Greetings, everyone. I'm an elite core disciple from the 4 Arms race. I've joined the Red Mist Race. Greetings, everyone. One expert after another walked out from the back and stood beside Emperor God Hongtian. Master Dan Lun actually joined the Red Mist clan. Emperor God Hongtian actually invited Master Dan Lun to join them. Grandmaster Dan Lun is a 9th Order God Emperor Realm Master, and he is proficient in alchemy. He has more than 10,000 disciples and grand disciples, and all of them are powerful alchemists. Emperor God Hongtian must have used that divine garden star to attract Master Dan Lun and the others over. The Exploding Mountain Giants have also joined the Red Mist Race. Although there are only tens of thousands of them, each of them has the combat power of a God Emperor when they reach adulthood. Their leader has the combat power of a 9th Order God Emperor, the 3-Eyed Tribe and the 4-Armed Tribe. Weren't they defeated by the Dragon Palace and disbanded by themselves? They also joined the Red Mist Race. Although most of the elites of the 2 races were killed, they still have a lot of resources. Shocked voices came from all around. Looking at the strong people who had joined the Red Mist Race one by one, even the mountain pangolin in the front had a serious look on their faces. Emperor God Hongtian's strength was evident from the fact that he had directly established a peak force in this starry sky. The 3-Eyed Tribe and the 4-Armed Tribe. Wang Xian and the rest raised their eyebrows when they saw these 2 tribes. These 2 tribes had a deep grudge against the Dragon Palace. I, Emperor God Hongtian, am honored to be able to invite Grandmaster Dan Lun and the Exploding Mountain Giants to join the Red Mist Race. In the future, our Red Mist Race will be selling all kinds of elixirs. I hope everyone can do us the honor. Other than elixirs, our Red Mist Race is also in the battle pet business. Emperor God Hongtian stood in front with a smile on his face. As he spoke, he waved his arm. Lazy people were listening. Roars could be heard coming from the back. Savage auras rushed in their direction. Waves of might caused everyone to narrow their eyes. In the center was an 8th Order God Emperor Realm Wild Beast. It had 2 huge heads and was tens of thousands of meters long. A violent aura could be felt from its body. 8th Order God Emperor Realm Wild Beast, double roar. Around this wild beast, there were more than a dozen 7th Order God Emperor Realm wild beasts. This is battle pets tamed by Emperor God Hongtian and the rest. 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. How is this possible? Hiss, 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. This is too terrifying. Astonishment filled everyone's faces when they saw the 10,000 battle pets. There were more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets, including one 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pet. One had to know that the top tribes only had 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts. Now, they were selling 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. How terrifying. When everyone saw this, their faces were filled with shock. Even the experts from the 3 domain level tribes were shocked. The battle pet business was a big business in the entire universe. There were even powerful tribes that would enslave some demonic beasts and sell them. The fact that the Red Mist race had more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets shocked them. These are more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets of our Red Mist race. They will be sold after today. In addition, the Red Mist race will open a star that I have cracked and build a commercial planet there. Emperor God Hongtian continued to speak, building momentum for the Red Mist race. Furthermore, the things that he had taken out and the foundation that he had displayed had also shocked all the other forces. Congratulations, Emperor God Hongtian. We will definitely support you in the future. Congratulations on the establishment of the Red Mist race. With Emperor God Hongtian leading the Red Mist race, we will definitely sweep across the universe. The leaders of the various races immediately bowed respectfully. Some of the experts from the various races even began to flatter him. After all, the battle pets the Red Mist race was selling could rival or even surpass their strongest experts. They naturally had to be respectful. Haha, thank you. The Red Mist race is also willing to be friends with everyone and live in harmony. Emperor God Hongtian laughed and said. The experts from the other forces heaved a sigh of relief when they heard this. However, there are some things we need to settle before the establishment of the Red Mist race. Suddenly, Emperor God Hongtian changed the topic and his tone was filled with coldness. His words caused some of the weaker races and domain-level tribes to feel a chill in their hearts. They looked nervous. What's going on? Did someone offend Emperor God Hongtian? When they heard Emperor God Hongtian's words and thought of the expressions of the Red Mist race disciples, they suddenly had a bad feeling. They narrowed their eyes slightly. The error-free chapters of the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System will continue to be updated on the mobile game bar. There will be no advertisements on the website. Please collect and recommend the mobile game bar. Please collect if you like the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3027. I, Emperor God Hongtian, shall die if I disobey. For everyone, I have an image here. Emperor God Hongtian's eyes shone brightly when he saw everyone. He waved his arm and an image appeared in front of him. In the image, there were several corpses on the ground. The corpses were dressed similarly to the members of the Red Mist tribe and there were several figures beside them. This is. When everyone saw those figures, they were slightly stunned, and their faces were filled with astonishment. It's them. They are from Dragon Palace. It's them from Dragon Palace. This is. When everyone saw the scene on the screen, they were shocked. Some of the experts looked towards Wang Xian and the rest. Dragon King, Emperor God Hongtian has replayed the image of me being wiped out. Seeing the scene on the screen, Tianjin narrowed his eyes and said to Wang Xian. It's all right. Let's just let them know. Wang Xian squinted his eyes as they flickered. It's that Dragon Palace. I didn't expect them to kill Emperor God Hongtian's disciple. This is interesting. When the Brain Race and Rare Race saw this, their eyes flashed with a hint of Schadenfreude. They looked at Wang Xian's group with undisguised murderous intent. Everyone from Dragon Palace, do you want an explanation? Emperor God Hongtian stared at Wang Xian and asked emotionlessly. It's simple. We were ambushed when we entered the Divine Garden Star. They locked us with a spatial sealing array. They were courting death. Of course, we had to kill them. Why? Emperor God Hongtian, are they from your Red Mist tribe? Wang Xian replied with a smile despite knowing the answer. He, everyone from Dragon Palace, what do you think? Emperor God Hongtian's eyes turned cold when he heard Wang Xian. What do we think? Of course, we will kill them, Wang Xian said plainly. Ha ha ha, good. What a good kill it. When Emperor God Hongtian heard Wang Xian's words, a violent aura burst out from his body and pressed down on Wang Xian and the rest. How dare you be so arrogant when you're just a 9th Order God Emperor? Beside Emperor God Hongtian, Grandmaster Danluan, the exploding mountain giant, and the rest immediately locked their gazes on Wang Xian and the rest, killing intent flashing in their eyes. Wang Xian moved his body and the unbeginning saint wings appeared on his back. A pair of dragon horns also appeared on his head, blocking Emperor God Hongtian's position. Dragon King. At this moment, Tianjin said in a low voice as he stared at the ground beneath his feet. Streaks of red light appeared below them, as if trying to seal them off. Dragon Palace, I'll give you 2 choices. One is to surrender to the Red Mist clan, respect us, and offer all your flood dragons. Second, if you make an enemy of the Red Mist race, I will destroy you. Emperor God Hongtian stared at Wang Xian and the rest as he spoke in a domineering tone. This is interesting. When the Heavenly Flame Race elite saw the sudden change, he revealed a faint smile. They had long been unhappy with the Dragon Palace. The power of the Dragon Palace had indeed intimidated the Heavenly Flame Race. They were very happy to see this scene unfold before them. The Red Mist clan has just been established and they have very few disciples. Moreover, they live on these sealed planets and are not afraid of the assassinations of the Dragon Palace. Moreover, they are experts in array formations. Assassinations by the Dragon Palace might be walking into a trap. Hence, Emperor God Hongtian has no qualms. An expert from the mountain-piercing race analyzed with a faint smile on his face. The Red Mist clan had just been established and already possessed such strength. It would be a good thing if they were to clash with the Dragon Palace. They could weaken the strength of the Red Mist clan. Emperor God Hongtian, are you so confident that you can destroy us? Wang Xian stared at Emperor God Hongtian, his eyes turning cold. It's still a piece of cake for me to kill the few of you who are at the 9th Order God Emperor realm, Emperor God Hongtian said confidently. Looks like our Dragon Palace has one more enemy. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. Not only will you die for defying me, but your Dragon Palace will also be destroyed. Emperor God Hongtian stared at Wang Xian and the rest, his eyes flickering. As expected of a sorcerer, to be so confident in destroying the Dragon Palace. A sorcerer at Emperor God Hongtian's level has unimaginable means. He might be able to find the nest of the Dragon Palace through some of them. The strongest expert in the Dragon Palace is probably at the 9th Order God Emperor realm. If Emperor God Hongtian really destroys them, the Red Mist clan will be unstoppable. The experts from the mountain-piercing race, Sky Inferno race, and Vast Ocean Old Man saw the confident Emperor God Hongtian and the smiles on their faces disappeared. Sorcerers were powerful and mysterious, especially Emperor God Hongtian. He might be able to locate the nest of the Dragon Palace with some kind of sorcery. Ha ha ha, sorry, Old Man Hongtian, I'm late. Suddenly, a hearty laughter was heard. The abrupt voice caused everyone to be slightly taken aback. Boom boom boom. Soon after, an unscrupulous figure flew towards them. Emperor God Hongtian frowned slightly when he heard the voice and looked in front. Old Ming, I didn't expect you to still be alive, he said coldly. Old Ming. It's him, the one from the Heavenly Nether tribe. He has been missing for 70 to 80 million years and has only returned recently. He is the only sorcerer in our galaxy who can go against Emperor God Hongtian. Even Emperor God Hongtian suffered a loss in his hand. The strength of the Heavenly Nether tribe has improved tremendously after his return. The crowd of people from different races immediately turned their heads to look, and whispered in surprise. The newcomer was also a legendary figure. How can I die when you are still alive? The old man said as he looked around. I'm not here to congratulate you on establishing your tribe. As he spoke, he looked around. When he saw Wang Xian and the rest, his eyes lit up. Haha, benefactor, I saw Old Man Hongtian inviting you on the AI not long ago, so I came to try my luck. I didn't expect you to be here. He laughed loudly and flew towards Wang Xian and the rest. The newcomer was Ming Xuanji, the fat old man trapped in the array formation that Wang Xian and the rest had rescued in the refining sorcerer continent. Oh! Wang Xian and the rest raised their eyebrows when they saw Ming Xuanji flying over. What a good timing. They squinted their eyes. Hey, old Ming Xuanji, you're here at the right time. Someone is about to annihilate us. Orochi's eyes lit up when he saw Ming Xuanji as he laughed heartily. Huh! Someone wants to annihilate you? Ming Xuanji's eyes turned cold as he saw the red glow below Wang Xian and the rest. A murderous aura rushed out from his body. Chapter 3028, Fuck. Violent old Ming what? What's going on? What's the relationship between Ming Xuanji and Dragon Palace? SSS, what's going on? Benefactor? Dragon Palace is Senior Ming Xuanji's benefactor. Looks like there's going to be a good show. When everyone saw the old man from the heavenly underworld race, the legendary figure of this starry sky, Ming Xuanji, flying directly towards the group of people from the Dragon Palace and calling them their benefactor, everyone was stunned. What's the relationship between Ming Xuanji from Heavenly Underworld Tribe and Dragon Palace? Benefactor? Prison on the ground? Humph. Ming Xuanji paid no attention to the exclamations and discussions around him. He looked at the red light beneath Wang Xian and the rest with a sinister look in his eyes. He stepped on the ground with his right foot and the red light disappeared bit by bit. At the front, Emperor God Hongtian's expression changed when he saw this scene. He stared at Ming Xuanji intently. Old Ming, are you trying to interfere in our affairs? Emperor God Hongtian asked coldly as he looked at Ming Xuanji coldly. It's all thanks to Dragon Palace that I'm able to come out alive. You want to kill my benefactor? Are you courting death? Ming Xuanji stared at him coldly and bellowed. Huh? What? Ming Xuanji came back because he was saved by Dragon Palace? When the experts of the various forces heard this, they were slightly shocked as their eyes flickered. Old Ming, Dragon Palace killed my disciple. This is a feud between Red Mist Tribe and Dragon Palace. You'd better not get involved. Upon hearing his words, Emperor God Hongtian's face darkened and he asked coldly. Ha ha ha, the matter of my benefactor is my matter. Even if I want to fuck you up, so what? Emperor God Hongtian said coldly, not giving any face to Emperor God Hongtian. Emperor God Hongtian's eyes narrowed as he looked extremely embarrassed. Ming Xuanji's every move didn't represent himself, but the entire Heavenly Underworld tribe. In particular, the current clan leader of Heavenly Underworld tribe was his son, who was also a peak emperor god. Ming Xuanji's decision could represent Heavenly Underworld tribe. The current strength of the Heavenly Underworld tribe was definitely one of the best in this part of the universe. They were much more powerful than the red mist that he had just established. When the surrounding forces saw how domineering Ming Xuanji was, they were slightly speechless. He was not giving Emperor God Hongtian any face at all. However, Ming Xuanji was also one of the few people in this starry sky who didn't give Emperor God Hongtian face. Old Ming, I can choose not to fight today. However, you must know that I am giving face to your Heavenly Underworld tribe, not you. Emperor God Hongtian's expression changed as he said coldly. As he spoke, he looked at Wang Xian and the rest with killing intent flashing in his eyes. You guys are lucky this time. You won't be so lucky next time. Hee hee. When Wang Xian and the rest heard Emperor God Hongtian's words, their eyes turned cold. He had come to attend the founding ceremony of the Red Mist race that day, but he hadn't expected such a situation. Moreover, the Red Mist clan and Emperor God Hongtian obviously knew that it was the Dragon Palace who had killed his clansman's disciple. However, they still invited the Dragon Palace because they wanted to destroy them and use sorcery to find the location of the Dragon Palace. This was obviously a feast at Hongmen. Ming Xuanji, help us do one thing. After you're done, we won't owe each other anything. Of course, you can reject it. Wang Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent as he looked at Ming Xuanji and said directly, Dragon King, let's not talk about one thing. My life was saved by you guys. As long as you say the word, I, Old Ming, will definitely not decline. Ming Xuanji patted his chest and said loudly, "Help us attack the Red Mist clan immediately. After this, we won't owe each other anything." Wang Xian continued as he stared at him. Ming Xuanji's eyes narrowed when he heard Wang Xian's words. "Ha ha ha, I like my benefactor's straightforward approach. Kill them if you have the strength." All right. Benefactor saved my life before. I'll kill whoever you say. Isn't it just Emperor God Hongtian? Ha ha, kill." Ming Xuanji burst into laughter. His face was filled with murderous intent as he roared. A book and a staff appeared in his hands. "Here, great. Old Ming, help us deal with Emperor God Hongtian. We'll handle the rest. Even if we're no match for them, we'll make the Red Mist clan's founding ceremony a climax." Orokai laughed wildly and roared with an excited and ferocious face. Wang Xian also smiled as a terrifying aura rose from his body. "What? Let's retreat. SSS, this dragon palace is crazy. Are they going to kill the Red Mist clan directly?" When the experts of the various forces sensed the murderous aura coming from them, their expressions changed slightly as they immediately retreated. Emperor God Hongtian was stunned. He clenched his fists and looked extremely embarrassed. The rest of the experts from the Red Mist clan were also stunned. They stared at them with killing intent and vigilance. "Ming Xuanji, are you going to make the Red Mist clan your enemy? Is the Heavenly Underworld clan going to make us your enemy?" Emperor God Hongtian roared. "I'm only representing myself, not the Heavenly Underworld clan. Don't worry," Ming Xuanji said faintly. "Who asked you to provoke my benefactor? Let the founding ceremony be lively today. Ha ha ha." As he spoke, he waved his arm and pointed the staff at the book in front of him. Black flames flew out from the book and attacked Emperor God Hongtian. "He, get up. Let's fight." Mo Sha roared. Without any hesitation, his body moved and he instantly flew towards the back. Behind him were tens of thousands of experts from the Red Mist clan who were below the Emperor God level. The devil fiends could easily kill a large number of such existences in an instant. Boom! Wang Xian did not hesitate. He flapped his unbeginning saint wings and attacked the Emperor God from the Red Mist clan at a terrifying speed. Sky Array Orokai did not hesitate and attacked immediately. The battle broke out instantly. "You're courting death." Seeing Ming Xuanji and Wang Xian attacking, Emperor God Hongtian's eyes were filled with frenzied killing intent as he roared furiously. Kill them for me." He angrily ordered all his subordinates. Today was the founding ceremony of the Red Mist clan. However, they were attacked at this moment. This was a complete provocation and humiliation to the Red Mist clan. From today onwards, the Red Mist clan would become a joke among the other forces. Kill those guys from the Dragon Palace. Let them know the consequences. And let Ming Xuanji know the consequences of offending him. A violent killing intent burst out of Emperor God Hongtian's body. Above his head, the acquired spiritual treasure, Magnetic Halo, shone with red brilliance. Chapter 3029, Fight. Up. They've started fighting. This is Emperor Hongtian's Red Mist tribe's founding day. I can't believe a fight broke out here. Maybe even Emperor Hongtian didn't expect this to happen. The Dragon Palace is Ming Xuanji's benefactor, and even more so, Ming Xuanji attacked the Dragon Palace. Quick, this is a battle between peak god emperor sorcerers. Let's hide. When the battle broke out, the people of the various races immediately retreated to the rear. A battle between peak god emperor sorcerers was enough to destroy heaven and earth. RRR. As the group of races retreated, a series of screams rang out from behind. Mo Sha, who had turned into a venomous horned dragon, had started slaughtering the Red Mist tribe's disciples. The 2 rows in the back were all disciples of the Red Mist clan below the God Emperor realm. The Red Mist tribe had arranged all their disciples in 2 rows to show off their strength. In the end, they were attacked by Mo Sha. An 8th Order God Emperor realm expert had killed a disciple below the God Emperor realm, and that was under a sneak attack. Before the disciples could react, tens of thousands of Red Mist tribe's disciples were killed. Not a single one was left alive. All of them were Emperor Hongtian's grand disciples, the future elites and core of the Red Mist tribe. The Red Mist tribe had just been established and didn't have many people. All the elite disciples were the disciples of his disciples. Now, 80% of them had been killed. Bastard, you're courting death. In front of them, the Red Mist race's emperor gods saw the demon fiend slaughtering their disciples. Their eyes turned bloodshot, and they immediately attacked the demon fiend. He, kill. Yamata Serpent let out a strange cry. He moved and locked onto the god emperors in front of him, charging over. His target was the experts below the 8th Order God Emperor realm. Stop him. Everyone, attack. Trap them. The 3 9th Order God Emperor realm Magi from the Red Mist race and the 9th Order God realm explosive mountain giants' expressions changed drastically. The power of the array formation condensed in the void, and a terrifying power was formed. Die. Wang Xian saw them setting up the array formation. His eyes flashed coldly as he pushed his speed to the limit. PFFF PFFF PFFF. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of Red Mist race's emperor gods on the left were instantly killed. Old Ming, go to hell. Do you really think that I, Hong Tian, am still the Hong Tian from tens of millions of years ago? Up in the sky, Emperor God Hong Tian's heart sank when he heard the screams and saw the disciples of the Red Mist race being killed. Magnetic aperture, disaster of blood. With a wave of his arm, streams of energy were injected into the magnetic halo above his head. Streaks of red light shot out towards Ming Xuanji. Ha ha ha, I was able to suppress you back then, and I can do the same now. Ming Xuanji laughed. He moved and flew directly toward the experts of the Red Mist clan. He was shrouded by a black shadow. As he flew, he quickly waved his arms and set up array formations. Have a taste of our heavenly underworld race's heavenly underworld king's shadow. Ming Xuanji roared. Very quickly, an incomparably huge black shadow appeared in front of him and launched an attack on the red stream. D*MN. All the strong people of the Red Mist, retreat from our battlefield. When God Emperor Hong Tian saw Ming Xuanji surrounding his subordinates, his face turned extremely ugly. With so many of his subordinates around him, he couldn't go all out. However, Ming Xuanji didn't have any scruples. With a wave of energy, several weaker disciples around him died instantly. Quick, quick, quick. One by one, the experts of the Red Mist race fled in different directions. Among them, several 9th Order God Emperor realm experts of the Red Mist race were horrified. They quickly dodged to the side. Far away from the battlefield between Emperor God Hong Tian and Ming Xuanji, die. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes when he saw the chaos in the Red Mist race. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Whoosh. He pushed his speed to the limit and locked his gaze on several 8th Order God Emperor realm Magi from the Red Mist race. Not good. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King is attacking us. Attack him. Defend. Dodge. The several 8th Order God Emperor realm experts from the Red Mist race paled, and they roared at the top of their lungs. Die. Wang Xian didn't even need to use any of his abilities to kill 8th Order God Emperor realm experts. His arm transformed into a terrifying dragon claw that was several thousand meters long as it swept out, grabbing the 3 8th Order God Emperor realm experts in his hand. Bam! Bam, bam. The destructive power immediately took away the vitality of the 3 8th Order God Emperor realm experts. Surround him. All 9th Order God Emperor realm experts, surround him. When the 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the Red Mist race saw this, their expressions changed drastically. Whoosh. However, Wang Xian didn't fight them head-on. He flapped his wings and flew to the side, hunting the weaker God Emperors around him. Ah. Not good, Great Elder, save us. The group of Magi who were close to him couldn't resist at all. They screamed in fear. Several of them flickered and tried to escape. Dragon eyes lock on the 8 desolations. Wang Xian's dragon eyes shone brightly. Chains appeared in front of them instantly. Their illusory bodies were instantly pulled out, and the chains pierced through them. No. Terrified voices came from their mouths. Kill him. Kill him. When the 4 emperor gods from the Red Mist clan saw that, their faces darkened and they roared angrily. Whoosh. Wang Xian didn't hesitate. Relying on his incredible speed, he flew towards a group of people and locked onto them. Run, run, run. It's that devil. It's that devil. The people from the three-eyed race who were locked onto were shocked. The leader of the three-eyed race was trembling violently as he screamed in fear. Previously, this guy had wiped out all the elites of their two races. Now, they were being hunted by this devil again. This made the leader of the three-eyed race feel suffocated and hopeless. They had already submitted to the red mist race and a peak god emperor realm magus. A bunch of idiots who have a death wish. Die. Wang Xian looked at the three-eyed race with eyes filled with killing intent. His dragon claw swept across. Bam, bam, bam. The destructive dragon claw swept across, covering 500 to 600 god emperors from the three-eyed race. No. Don't kill me. Desperate voices rang out, but they were soon silenced. Roar, roar, roar. At this time, a 1,000-meter-tall giant that looked like a boulder let out a roar and charged towards Wang Xian. Exploding mountain giant. Wang Xian snorted coldly. Seeing the huge exploding mountain giant, he flapped his wings and dodged his attack easily. Then, he flew towards the first race again. There were many war pets from the red mist race. Since he couldn't kill them, he would kill the war pets. Chapter 30:30. Battle. Down. The battle pets roared. In the surrounding void, more than 10,000 God Emperor realm battle pets exuded a violent aura. Just now, the appearance of these battle pets had stunned all the forces. But now, Wang Xian's target was the battle pets. The red mist race was very strong. Even though Ming Xuanji had restrained Emperor God Hongtian, the red mist race still had 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts. 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts, 3 of which were sorcerers. Even though Wang Xian's speed was terrifying, he was still no match for them. But Wang Xian wasn't going to fight them head-on. Instead, he wanted Emperor God Hongtian to pay a heavy price. He wanted the red mist race to pay a heavy price. The Dragon Palace wasn't a pushover. If he wanted to kill them, he would have to pay a price. The battle pets weren't as smart as the red mist race experts. Seeing Wang Xian's attack, they were terrified and immediately dodged to the side. But they were too slow. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes, locked on to the 8th Order God Emperor realm battle pet, and charged towards it. Not good, don't let him kill the Twin Moose Roar battle pet. The 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the red mist race were shocked when they saw Wang Xian charging towards their battle pets. The red mist race's great elder roared. He waved his arm, and a pitch-black shield covered in all kinds of patterns flew towards the Twin Moose Roar to protect it. Hee, you can't protect me if I want to kill him. The pair of dragon horns on Wang Xian's head shone brightly. Yin-yang destruction boundary. He roared, and a black and white light shot out from his dragon horns. The light intertwined and landed on the black shield like a sharp arrow. Bam! The terrifying attack instantly caused the black shield to collapse. The huge Twin Moose Roar sensed the threat to its life and let out a terrified roar. Its 2 heads spat out terrifying flames as it tried to escape. Bam! Wang Xian flapped his wings and pierced through the 2 heads. With a wave of his arm, he kept the Twin Moose Roar's corpse. No. When the 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the red mist race saw this, their eyes turned bloodshot as they roared. An 8th Order God Emperor realm battle pet's value was terrifying. Now, he was killed by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. Just kill him. Back then, in order to tame this war pet, their master Emperor God Hongtian had spent 1,000 years. He was killed just like that. Pu. Wang Xian paid no heed to their anger. He went after the battle pets around him. Kill. The 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the red mist race were enraged, and they immediately chased after Wang Xian. An 8th Order God Emperor realm battle pet was killed by that Dragon King. That's an 8th Order God Emperor realm battle pet we're talking about. There's only one of it in this part of space, yet it was killed. That Dragon Palace's Dragon King's speed is terrifying. His strength should be at the 9th Order God Emperor realm, but his speed is comparable to a peak God Emperor realm expert. The 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the red mist race can't catch up to him. These people from the Dragon Palace are not planning to fight them head-on. Instead, They are hunting down the rest of the experts from the Red Mist race. More than 2,000 Emperor Realm experts have died in the hands of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King, including several 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert. This time, the Red Mist race has suffered a heavy loss. Not only did they fail to intimidate everyone on the day of their founding, but they were also massacred by the Dragon Palace. This is a huge embarrassment. The Red Mist race has very few core disciples to begin with. Many of them have been killed this time. The experts from various races had retreated to the last position, and they were discussing the battle in front of them. They were also fearful of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King's speed, especially the rare ancient race and the brain race. Their expressions changed constantly when they saw the speed. The strongest expert from the 2 domain-level races was only at the 9th Order God Emperor realm. Now that they saw the speed of the Dragon Palace's expert, they were a little frightened. In the face of such speed, even the strongest expert in their clan could be killed. This Dragon Palace was not to be trifled with. The 2 races immediately made up their minds. Dragon Palace, you're courting death. I, Emperor God Hong Tian, swear to kill you all. Emperor God Hong Tian roared fiercely when he sensed the situation below. His voice was filled with hatred. Ha ha ha, old man Hong Tian, don't be distracted when fighting against me. Do you really think that you can suppress me with an acquired spiritual treasure? At this time, Ming Xuanji laughed heartily in front of him. He was laughing heartily, but he was also fully alert, staring at the magnetic halo above his head with fear. Ming Xuanji, get lost. Emperor God Hong Tian's eyes were blood-red, and the magnetic halo above his head released a blood-red light beam. The light beam shot straight to the sky, and the world changed color. Ming Xuanji snorted coldly, and waved his arm. He had been sealed by the array for tens of millions of years, and lacked spiritual energy. Although his strength had not broken through, he had mastered all the witchcraft knowledge recorded in Mohan Hei Fa. One had to know that Mohan Hei Fa was a universe venerable, and had killed existences of the same realm. If it wasn't for the fact that he was afraid of the other party's acquired spiritual treasure, he could definitely suppress Emperor God Hong Tian. Even so, he wasn't afraid of the other party. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying attacks resounded in the sky, and some of the aftershocks hit the sky, but were blocked by the array left behind by the Mohan family ruins. But the area below was not so lucky, and a large number of buildings were destroyed under the impact of the powerful energy. Kill them, kill them. On the other side, all the 8th Order God Emperor realm experts from the Red Mist race, as well as the other Emperor gods, stared at the 8 branches Devil Fiends and Tianzhen, attacking them in a frenzy. After the sudden attack by Orokai and the others, the Red Mist finally reacted. They immediately surrounded Tianzhen and the other 2. Given their strength, the Sky Formation and the 8 branches Devil Fiends couldn't withstand their attacks. Dragon King, we'll leave first. Seeing their attacks, the 8 branches Devil Fiend's expression changed, and he shouted. As soon as he finished speaking, their figures gradually disappeared. Since they couldn't win, they could only flee. Otherwise, if they were sealed by the array, they could only rely on Enlai to save them. But Enlai's arrival would expose the Dragon Palace's trump card. Wang Xian glanced at Tianzhen and the others, and a smile appeared on his face. Ha ha ha, the Dragon Palace doesn't care if you're Emperor God Hong Tian or the Red Mist race. As long as you dare to provoke us, we'll kill you. Who's afraid of whom? From now on, you'd better hide in a safe place, or we'll let you know the fear of being assassinated. Wang Xian let out a wild laugh and roared loudly. Since they wanted to play, the Dragon Palace would play along. He wanted to see who would give in first. Chapter 30-31, Cause a Sensation Courting Death. The Dragon Palace is courting death. Do you really think the Red Mist clan is afraid of the Dragon Palace? We will definitely annihilate you. Angry voices came from the mouths of the experts of the Red Mist race. They stared at Wang Xian furiously and growled hideously. Did they really think that the Red Mist race was afraid of the Dragon Palace? Since they dared to attack the experts of Dragon Palace today, they were already prepared. With the strength of their master and clan leader, as long as they were captured, they could use the array to search for the Dragon Palace's lair and destroy it easily. Now, He actually wanted to assassinate them. Courting death. Keep him here and seal the space. The eyes of the 3 Ninth Order God Emperor Realm Magi from the Red Mist race were filled with violent killing intent. Set the formation. The 3 of them waved their arms and a spatial sealing array was quickly formed. Roar, roar, roar. Those who offend the Red Mist will die. The humongous body of the raging mountain giants waved its arms and blasted towards Wang Xian. I won't play with you anymore. Ming Xuanji, we don't owe each other anymore. I'll take my leave first. Wang Xian smirked. With a move of his body, he retreated backward instantly. Then, his figure turned illusory and he left. Boom. The place he had just left was shrouded by a terrifying energy. Damn it, he's too fast. The 4 Ninth Order God Emperor Realm experts from the Red Mist race wore gloomy expressions. None of the 4 from Dragon Palace remained. Ha ha ha, Emperor God Hongtian, do you still want to fight? Seeing Wang Xian and the rest leaving, Ming Xuanji laughed and spoke. Ming Xuanji, I, Hongtian, will remember what happened today. Emperor God Hongtian stopped his attack and stared at him coldly. So be it. I'll be leaving first. I didn't choose an auspicious day to establish my clan. Now, I've lost face, and many of my disciples have died. Ming Xuanji sneered. With a flash, he flew towards the exit. Hearing Ming Xuanji's words, Emperor God Hongtian's expression changed drastically. His gaze swept across the surroundings with a dark expression. Sir Emperor God Hongtian, please settle the situation on your side. We shall not disturb you any further. An expert from the mountain-piercing race cupped his hands and bid farewell. The heavenly flame race clasped their hands together and left. One by one, the various races left with strange expressions on their faces. Today, the Red Mist clan had lost a lot of face. They had tried to take down the experts of Dragon Palace on the day of their founding, but they had failed miserably. Not only did they not kill the members of the Dragon Palace, but they also killed a large number of their disciples. Even an 8th Order God Emperor Realm Master and an 8th Order God Emperor Realm Battle Pet were killed by the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. Tens of thousands of other disciples had been killed or injured, which was a heavy loss for the Red Mist race. The most important thing was the loss of reputation. The Red Mist clan had just been established. Because it was not a traditional clan, they needed to recruit disciples from the outside world. Now that such a situation had occurred, many of the unaffiliated people who had originally planned to join had to reconsider. This time, not only did he fail to establish his might, he even lost face. Dragon Palace. Emperor God Hongtian's eyes were filled with raging murderous intent as he looked at the group of people leaving. He would make the Dragon Palace pay a heavy price for what happened today. Haha, this is great. Emperor God Hongtian is so arrogant. He wants to make us stay and kill us. His courting death. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace's Dragon King Hall, the Yamata Devil Fiend and the rest were exclaiming excitedly. This time, it's all thanks to Ming Xuanji. If not for him, we would have had to run away with our tails between our legs. Tianjin said faintly. This time, the reason why they could kill so many experts of the Red Mist clan was because Ming Xuanji had stopped Emperor God Hongtian. If not for him, they would have had to expend a lot of energy to run away, let alone kill them. All in all, this isn't beneficial for us. Now, we have completely offended the Red Mist clan. Wang Xian said as he sat on the dragon throne. Dragon King, let's fight it out with them. Anyway, our Dragon Palace is very safe here. Even if we are discovered, the Dragon Palace's defense is strong enough to withstand any attack from anyone below the Universe Supremacy realm. I'll let my subordinates slowly parasitize the experts of the Red Mist clan and fully grasp their movements. When the time comes, I'll let the spike dragon species assassinate them. I can guarantee that in 10 to 20 years, we can destroy the entire Red Mist clan. If other clans dare to provoke us, we can slowly nibble away at them. The devilish devil said with a face full of killing intent. In the current void, the devilish 8 branches were confident that with the ability of the venom-horned dragon species, roving demon, and lie, and the rest, they would be able to nibble away at all the forces in this starry sky. However, this might take a long time. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he heard their words. Dragon King, if we want to venture deeper into the universe, we really need to establish a foothold here. It doesn't matter if we spend a few decades or two. Our Dragon Palace has always been improving rapidly. This time, we might as well settle down. Just like what the devilish 8 branches said, we'll play along with all the forces in this starry sky. Prime Minister Turtle stood by the side and said after a moment of silence. That's good too. Wang Xian nodded his head. This was the only way out of desperation. The current Dragon Palace did not have the capital to fight against the Red Mist clan. They did not have the strength to fight against a peak Emperor God expert. Moreover, even if he wanted to improve, he would need a large amount of resources. In order to obtain these resources, he would have to wipe out a domain-level clan. Completely wipe them out. However, it was not easy to wipe out such a clan. Moreover, it would easily incur the wrath of the masses. Perhaps it's time for me to go out for a walk. And Lingxiu, I've searched the entire resplendent starry sky and the Mohan clan ruins, but I can't find her. She should be in the center of the universe. I can leave the matters of the Dragon Palace to Prime Minister Turtle and the rest. Let the Dragon Palace settle down. Wang Xian made up his mind. Over the next 2 days, the incident of the Red Mist clan's establishment spread across the starry sky. Everyone was shocked when they heard about it. The Red Mist clan had displayed great strength and foundation. However, the incident of the Dragon Palace had completely embarrassed them. They were ridiculed by many. The Dragon Palace had also completely formed a feud with the Red Mist clan. Now that the Dragon Palace has offended many clans, such as the Rare Ancient clan, the Brainiac clan, the Red Mist clan, and the Sky Inferno clan, they might not be too happy with the Dragon Palace. The strongest expert of the Dragon Palace is a 9th Order God Emperor. If the lair of the Dragon Palace is discovered, they will definitely be annihilated. That's hard to say. The Heavenly Underworld clan is indebted to the father of the current clan leader of the Dragon Palace. The Heavenly Underworld clan might stand on the side of the Dragon Palace. They are very strong. Countless people were discussing on the Universe AI. Thank you, Green Maple and Lone Wolf, for your 20,000 book coins tip. Thank you very much for always seeing your tips and support. Thank you, other brothers, for your tips. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Thank you, brothers, for subscribing to the original edition. Chapter 3032, Traveling Alone. Dragon Palace, Tianming Tribe, Rare Ancient Tribe, Brain Tribe, Red Mist Tribe. Race after race, matter after matter spread quickly on the Universe AI. The discussions didn't stop. Dragon King, Ming Xuanji, contacted me through the Universe AI. He wants to invite you to the Tianming Tribe. He said that the help previously was just a small matter. On the 5th day, Tianzhen came to the Dragon King Hall to report a situation to Wang Xian. Oh, Ming Xuanji contacted you? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows in surprise. Yes, I made a statement in the name of the Dragon Palace not long ago. He contacted me through that message, but I haven't responded yet. Tianzhen nodded and said, "Go to the Tianming tribe." Wang Xian was deep in thought. He wanted to come to the Dragon Palace to thank us personally, but he doesn't know where we are. To avoid suspicion, he invited you and the experts of the Dragon Palace over, saying that he can guarantee your safety. Tianzhen continued, "I'm going out to see the vast center of the universe." Wang Xian nodded thoughtfully as he looked at the heavenly array. Huh? Dragon King, you're going out alone? Tianzhen was shocked and asked immediately. Yes, I'm very assured with you guys around. It doesn't matter if I'm around or not. Moreover, I want to break through quickly. I have to go to other places to train, fight, and look for opportunities. Wang Xian said. Dragon King, where are you going? Tianzhen hesitated and asked. I'm going to the Milky Way. Wang Xian said. Wang Xian had already made some preparations 5 days ago when he was going into the universe alone. He searched for some places on the Universe AI and finally locked onto the Milky Way, which wasn't too far away. Of course, it wasn't too far away, but it was still an unusually far place. If he were to fly there, he might need 2 years. Dragon King, be careful when you go out. Tianzhen said. Don't worry. Wang Xian smiled faintly and stood up. We'll pass by the Tianming tribe on our way to the Milky Way. Give me Ming Xuanji's contact details. I'll let him know. All right. Tian Zhen nodded. Soon, Wang Xian sent a message to Ming Xuanji using his universe AI. Wang Xian received a reply very quickly. Wang Xian briefly explained the situation to him. For the next 2 days, Wang Xian accompanied the girls and instructed Prime Minister Turtle on some matters. After which, he ordered Enlai to bring him to a planet. Ha ha ha, benefactor, welcome to our heavenly underworld race. A day later, Ming Xuanji saw Wang Xian walking out of the teleportation formation on a planet of the Tianming tribe and welcomed him with a hearty smile. Welcome, Dragon King. Beside Ming Xuanji was an old man who nodded at Wang Xian with a smile. Wang Xian sensed and was slightly shocked. The old man was also a peak emperor god expert. Moreover, he was even more majestic than Ming Xuanji. However, both of them looked alike. Wang Xian could vaguely guess the identity of the old man. Haha, thank you, brother Ming Xuanji, for your help last time. If it weren't for you, we would have been in trouble. Wang Xian replied politely. Haha, even without me, you wouldn't have been in any danger. Compared to saving your lives, it's nothing, Ming Xuanji said with a smile. Yeah, Dragon King. You saved my father and are the benefactor of our heavenly underworld race. If the Red Mist tribe dares to attack the Dragon Palace in the future, we will teach them a lesson on behalf of the Dragon Palace. The old man beside him said with a smile. Haha, there's no need for that. I've already said that I've repaid all the favors. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. Haha, benefactor, please come in. Since you've come to our heavenly underworld race, I'll definitely treat you well. Ming Xuanji changed the topic and laughed. You're welcome. I won't be staying here for long. I'm preparing to head to the Milky Way for training. Wang Xian said with a smile. To the Milky Way. It's further away and there are many experts there. Ming Xuanji asked curiously. To train, it's natural to go to the powerful starry sky. Wang Xian said, I won't be staying here any longer. Dragon King, there's no hurry. Let's have a meal first. Moreover, our heavenly underworld race knows a little about the Milky Way. Father has been there before. The old man beside him said. I've been there for more than 5 million years. Ming Xuanji said slowly. Oh. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow with surprise in his eyes. Let's go, benefactor. Let's talk while we eat. I've been there for millions of years. Although I didn't make a name for myself, I know the place better. Ming Xuanji said passionately. Sure. Wang Xian nodded and didn't reject. The Milky Way was a small river in the center of the universe. The small river in the center of the universe was, in fact, huge. Its surface area was at least tens of thousands of times the size of this starry sky. The entire Milky Way was vast and boundless, with countless wild beasts living in it. Similarly, there were also many powerful races and forces there. In the Milky Way, there were more than a dozen primary races in the universe, not to mention those of other levels. The reason why Wang Xian chose the Milky Way was that it belonged to the ocean. There were 2 ways for Wang Xian to increase his strength. One was to devour marine animals, and the other was to devour various elixir pills and divine herbs. Compared to elixir pills and divine herbs, marine animals were undoubtedly the easiest to find. The entire Milky Way was filled with marine animals. The major forces also relied on the Milky Way to establish their strong foundations. The Milky Way was rich in resources, and the various marine animals were extremely powerful. It was said that there were many marine animals of the universe supremacy level. Even the primary races in the universe didn't dare to step into the territory of these existences. Wang Xian's goal this time was to reach the level of a universe supremacy. Benefactor, if you are heading to the Milky Way, I have something here that should be useful to you. Ming Xuanji took out an item and handed it to him during the meal. It was a willow twig that contained surging vitality. Huh! This is. Wang Xian looked at the willow twig in surprise. Based on the energy on it, this should be a treasure of a universe supremacy. This is a twig of willow deity. With this twig, You can join Willow Deity Dojo and become a disciple of Willow Deity Dojo. Ming Xuanji looked at the twig and said with flickering eyes. Willow Deity Dojo? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow. That's right. The Dragon King is preparing to head to the Milky Way, so you should have some understanding of the forces there. This is a twig of Willow Deity, which I obtained by chance. Ming Xuanji said solemnly. This twig was extremely valuable in the Milky Way. Chapter 30-33, Yalong-on Father, why did you give him such a precious branch of the venerable Willow Deity? Such a branch can be exchanged for a peak Emperor God weapon in the Milky Way. On a planet belonging to the Tianming tribe, the leader of the Tianming tribe looked at the departing figure and asked his father. First, it's to repay a debt of gratitude. Second, it's for investment. The Dragon Palace rescued me from that sealed place, which shows how extraordinary they are. If I'm not wrong, the current base of the Dragon Palace is on the mainland at the center of the ruins of the Incan dynasty. Given the speed of the Dragon Palace's development, it's hard to say. Ming Xuanji looked at the disappearing figure and shook his head slightly. The Red Mist tribe isn't weak. The Rare Ancient tribe and the Brain tribe aren't weak either. But if we help the Dragon Palace, we can help them resist. The leader of the Tianming tribe said slowly. The branch of the venerable Willow Deity Dojo. At the same time, Wang Xian was flying rapidly in the void, looking at the branch in his hand with glistening eyes. In the Milky Way, there were many races and more than a dozen primary races in the universe. Other than the various races, there were also some rogue cultivators. Among these rogue cultivators, the most famous was the venerable Willow Deity. The venerable Willow Deity wasn't human, but a huge willow tree. According to the information Wang Xian obtained from the Universe AI, the venerable Willow Deity was an expert that had existed for a long time. She was originally a willow tree in the Milky Way. She cultivated and became a universe venerable step by step. Moreover, her strength wasn't invincible in the Milky Way, but all the primary races in the universe had to treat her with respect. Some people said that she was the oldest living creature in the Milky Way. Now, she had taken root beside the Milky Way and built a dojo. The venerable Willow Deity was deeply respected. She didn't participate in any disputes or killings. The dojo she built also didn't have any standpoint. She didn't accept disciples and only taught. Moreover, to enter the Willow Deity Dojo, one didn't just need talent, but also an important test, temperament. Those with bad temperaments couldn't enter the Willow Deity Dojo. The Willow Deity branch in Wang Xian's hand allowed him to skip other tests. As long as he brought the branch into the dojo and tested his temperament, he could immediately enter the dojo to learn. Inside the dojo were the treasures that Willow Deity had obtained in the past, as well as the divine liquid that Willow Deity had condensed. For cultivators, this was an incomparably huge treasure. There were two benefits to joining the Willow Deity Dao grounds. The first was cultivation. Even the heavenly abode of a primary race in the universe was vastly different from the Willow Deity Dao grounds. After all, there were only over 10,000 people in the Willow Deity Dao field. A Dao field created by a universe supreme to teach over 10,000 students, one could imagine how beneficial it was to cultivation. The second benefit was protection. Within the Willow Deity Dao field, no one dared to kill anyone. Even if you killed an important person in the Milky Way and hid in the Willow Deity Dao field, no one would dare to attack you. However, once they left the Willow Deity Dojo, life and death were up to fate, and wealth and honor were up to the heavens. Outside of the Willow Deity Dao Right, Willow Deity Supremacy wouldn't care if the disciples of the two Dao Rights fought. Of course, the possibility of such a thing happening was very small. Those who could enter the dojo were not weak. This Willow Deity Dojo is a good place. As Wang Xian recalled the information, his eyes flickered. There were very, very few experts who would simply establish a dojo and not seek anything else. But thinking about it, she was a willow tree, so it made sense. Powerful plant-type creatures usually didn't have much killing power. I'll join the Willow Deity Dao field from there. With an idea in mind, Wang Xian immediately increased his speed. He flashed rapidly in the void and spread out the unbeginning sacred wings. Given his speed, It would take him close to 2 years. One should know that when he flew at full speed with the unbeginning sacred wings, he was comparable to a peak god-emperor. One could imagine how far the distance was. Enlai's speed was much faster than his, but he didn't let Enlai bring him over. Flying in the universe was also a form of training. As he flew at full speed, the stars and meteorites flew past him. Some stars had terrifying gravitational forces, while some had powerful repulsive forces. There were also stars that emitted terrifying heat and extreme cold. After flying for more than a month, Wang Xian even met some stars that could threaten him. There were all kinds of void in the center of the universe. After flying for 3 months, he met a horrifying giant star beast. It was a real star behemoth. However, it only took a single glance at it before it disappeared. A giant star beast of the universe supremacy level. Looking at the disappearing figure, Wang Xian's eyes narrowed and were filled with fear. As he continued flying, he met many civilized planets along the way. There's a planet teleportation formation ahead. It belongs to a domain-level race. I can save more than a year of flying time. After flying for more than 10 days, Wang Xian saw some information on the universe AI and thought to himself. Soon, a planet appeared in his sight. He landed on the planet, paid some divine stones and teleported. After teleporting to a continent, he looked at the distance displayed on the universe AI and revealed a smile. He should be able to reach it in 2 months at most. With a move, Wang Xian immediately flew into the void. As the days passed, Wang Xian encountered quite a number of strange sights in the universe. He even met a few black holes. As for where the other end of the black hole was, Wang Xian didn't know and he didn't dare to try. Rumble, rumble, rumble. 7 months after he left the Dragon Palace, when he was nearer to the Milky Way, a loud roar came from the void ahead. Quick, catch her. Don't let her escape. Ha ha ha, trying to escape? Dream on. Voices came from the front. Following which, Wang Xian saw a 3-meter deer-like creature. She was surrounded by water and had the strength of a 6th-order god-emperor. At this moment, there was a long wound on her abdomen. Fresh blood flowed from it. She looked around frantically and her face was filled with despair. Above her head, there was a black shackle that had locked her in place. Behind her, dozens of god-emperor experts stared at her with excitement. Roar. A clear and melodious moan came from her mouth. This is. Wang Xian could sense a familiar aura from this deer-like creature. It was a familiar aura from her bloodline. Divine dragon bloodline? Alternative dragon? Wang Xian's eyes shone. Roar roar. At this moment, the alternative dragon also saw Wang Xian. Her eyes were filled with panic and fear. Chapter 30-34, Those in front, make way. It's best not to interfere when we, the 9 swords, are handling matters. A cold bellow was heard. In the void, the group of people who were chasing after the flood dragon narrowed their eyes when they saw Wang Xian's figure. They immediately warned loudly. Roar. Roar. Save me. The flood dragon with the head of a deer shouted at Wang Xian with fear written all over its face. The human in front of it was its last hope. She wasn't sure if the other party was a good or bad guy. Should they capture her too? 9 swords. Wang Xian frowned when he heard the bellow and the pleading of the flood dragon. Come here. With a wave of his arm, a surge of energy pulled the flood dragon to a higher speed. The flood dragon that was pulled over was taken aback as it looked at Wang Xian timidly. You're courting death. Hand over that demon dragon dear to us immediately. Otherwise, don't blame us for not going easy on you. Seeing Wang Xian interfering, the group of 30-odd people from the 9 swords had a change in their expressions. The leading old man shouted sternly. She belongs to me now. Wang Xian looked across the group of people and said plainly. Swish swish swish. When the group of 35 people heard him, their expressions changed. They exchanged glances and immediately surrounded Wang Xian. Brother, we are the disciples of the 9 swords of the Milky Way. We have been chasing this demon dragon deer for a long time. If you interfere, you will be making an enemy out of the 9 swords of the Milky Way. You have to consider carefully if it's worth it for a demon dragon deer. The leading old man frowned and said to Wang Xian with a gloomy face. Save me. They want to capture me as a mount and a war pet. Save me. As the old man spoke, the deer beside him pleaded with a pleading look on its face. In the universe, demons are also considered intelligent creatures. She's not a wild beast. It's not good for you to capture her directly. Wang Xian looked at the demon dragon deer beside him and frowned as he spoke to the people from the 9 swords. In that case, you want to make an enemy out of the 9 swords. When they heard Wang Xian, the 35 people from the 9 swords clenched their long swords tightly. Is this the situation of those with the divine dragon bloodline? Wang Xian murmured as he swept his gaze across the 30-odd people. Do it. At this time, the 30-odd people on the opposite side did not hesitate either. With a swift movement, they surrounded Wang Xian. Among the 35 people, there were 5 8th Order God Emperor realm experts. Die. Dragon eyes lock everywhere. Seeing their attacks, Wang Xian's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Hualala. Boom. The nomological divine ability was instantly cast, and the entire world changed. Dragon shadows pulled on chains and instantly appeared around them, locking them in place. What? Not good, he is very strong, we are no match for him. Run. When the 35 people sensed Wang Xian's sudden burst of horrifying strength, their expressions changed drastically. He wanted to escape. However, Wang Xian would not let them escape. Once they escaped, he would be in trouble. Die. No, no, no. Stop. If you kill us, the 9 swords won't let you off. Wang Xian's fearful voice reverberated, but there wasn't the slightest change in his eyes. The chains pierced through their bodies. Under his nomological divine ability, the 35 people could not put up any resistance. Even if they were very strong. This is. Seeing Wang Xian's attack, the deer widened its eyes in shock. Hualala. The dragon eyes chains pulled the corpses over. With a wave of his arm, Wang Xian placed these corpses into the Dragon Palace. These corpses could be turned into resources for the Dragon Palace. You have the bloodline of a divine dragon? Beside him, the demon dragon deer stared at Wang Xian with widened eyes in disbelief and asked in shock. Boom. Wang Xian looked at it. His aura fluctuated slightly, and a wave of dragon might enveloped her. Bam! Feeling this wave of dragon might, the deer's body trembled. She sprawled in the void, shivering. However, her eyes were filled with excitement. Such a pure dragon might, such a strong divine dragon aura. Are the flood dragons nowadays so pitiful? Looking at the injuries on her body, Wang Xian waved his arm and drops of vitality liquid landed on her body. The wounds on her body healed at a terrifying speed. Thank you, my lord. The deer thanked Wang Xian gratefully. Bam! With a wave of his hand, the confinement circle above her head was shattered. Wang Xian sized her up and said, "The bloodline of the divine dragon in you is very thin. My lord, the deer race does not belong to the bloodline of the divine dragons. Under normal circumstances, we can't even be considered as a flood dragon. However, my bloodline unexpectedly reverted and I possess a trace of divine dragon bloodline. After my divine dragon bloodline was discovered, some humans tried to capture me immediately. They even killed my parents and other tribesmen." The deer's eyes were filled with tears as she spoke sorrowfully. "My lord, I can sense the divine dragon bloodline in you. You have to be careful. They are very strong. The 9 swords race that is pursuing me is a primary race in the universe. They are powerful existences with universe supremacies." The deer continued to speak. If you don't have any tribesmen, follow me," Wang Xian said to her. "Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my benefactor." The deer hesitated for a moment before replying. In the next instant, she shifted her body slightly and transformed into her human form with a pair of antlers on her head. She was about 1.6 meters tall and looked weak. Her eyes were red. "Don't you know how to hide the power of your bloodline? That makes sense. If you knew how to hide it, you wouldn't have been pursued." Wang Xian looked at her and asked with a smile. After which, he shook his head. With a tap of his finger, a ray of light shone into her mind. "This is a way to hide your bloodline. Unless you battle in your original form, I won't be able to sense your flood dragon bloodline. Wang Xian said to her. Thank you, my lord. The deer lowered her head and thanked Wang Xian again. All right, you're welcome. You have the divine dragon bloodline. We are considered a family. What's your name? Wang Xian waved his hand at her. He flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and wrapped her up with a gust of energy. They continued to fly forward. My benefactor, I'm the deer heart. The deer sensed the speed of the surroundings. Her eyes widened slightly as she spoke hurriedly. Are there many flood dragons in the Milky Way? Are they all in such dire straits? Wang Xian continued to ask. They had just arrived at the Milky Way when they encountered a flood dragon that was being pursued. This made Wang Xian frown slightly. The deer heart was considered an intelligent creature in the universe. She wasn't a wild beast. Even so, she was still being pursued unscrupulously. It seemed like a flood dragon with the divine dragon bloodline wasn't having it easy. Chapter 30-35, Benefactor. Due to the extinction of the purebred divine dragon bloodline, the sky dragons are having a tough time. Many people want to become dragon knights and own a war pet with the divine dragon bloodline. Other than the 9 stronger divine dragon races, the rest of the sky dragons have been hunted down. There aren't many sky dragons here in the Milky Way. A few years ago, there was a relatively strong sky dragon domain level race called the fairy dragon race. They lived in the Milky Way and had a trace of the divine dragon's bloodline. Their numbers were relatively large and they were hunted by many powerful races. Later on, a powerful Earth divine dragon appeared in the fairy dragon race. It was said that the Earth divine dragon was a true divine dragon with overwhelming strength. It helped the fairy dragon race fend off the other races. However, the Earth divine dragon and the fairy dragon race are still no match for the major races in the Milky Way. I wonder where they are hiding now. The Mi Xin Lu introduced the current situation of the sky dragons in the Milky Way to Wang Xian. Fairy dragon? Earth divine dragon? Wang Xian frowned slightly when he heard her. Do you know the appearance of the Earth divine dragon? Wang Xian asked. No. However, it is said that the appearance of the Earth divine dragon is exactly the same as the legendary divine dragon. The Mi Xin Lu shook her head. Exactly the same? Could it be the Earth Dragon Emperor? Is Lingxiu here? Wang Xian frowned and thought to himself. Time passed quickly and Wang Xian's speed was terrifying. 2 days later, they arrived at the border of the Milky Way. Looking at the vast world in front of him, his eyes were filled with shock. There was an incomparably vast ocean in front of them. The void below the ocean was black. It was known as the Spiritless Zone. It was said that even universe supremacies would die instantly if they entered the Spiritless Zone. This vast ocean was the Milky Way. To many people, it was a boundless Milky Way. The length of the Milky Way was not recorded. Universe supremacies could only travel from one end to the other for hundreds of years. As for the size of the Milky Way, no one knew. Within the Milky Way, there were countless marine creatures. There were hidden universe supremacies. Benefactor, this is the border of the Milky Way. This area is the territory of the 9 Swords race. We have to be careful. The Mi Xin deer looked ahead and said with a face full of fear. Just call me Wang Xian. They don't know your human form, do they? Wang Xian nodded his head and asked. I don't know. The Mi Xin Lu shook her head. That's good. Let's go. We need to use the teleportation formation here to go to the willow deity Daoist right. As Wang Xian spoke, he approached the Silver River. On some planets, the continents were connected to the ocean, but it was completely different here. The planet was close to the ocean. The entire continental plate was close to the ocean. Compared to the Milky Way, the planets inhabited by humans looked incomparably tiny. Wang Xian brought the heart deer to a planet. The arrival of Wang Xian and the rest did not attract any attention. They took the teleportation formation and headed towards Willow Deity Dojo immediately. The Willow Deity Dojo was located at the center of one side of the Milky Way, on an island more than 10 light-years deep into the Milky Way. So many people, it's so lively. When Wang Xian and the rest teleported to a location near the center of the Milky Way, they stood on a continental plate by the side. Wang Xian was shocked as he looked to the right. There was a boundless Milky Way sea. There were many ships on the surface of the sea. There were sailboats made of special materials and ships that possessed advanced technology. There were also many luxurious yachts. There were also some odd-looking sailing artifacts. There were many people around. Looking across the radius of a few 100 million kilometers, there were at least 1 billion people. All of them were cosmos cultivators. Among them, there were many god-emperors and god-kings. However, Wang Xian also realized that there weren't many 8th or 9th order god-emperors around. His strength could be considered to be at the top of the list. "Let's go to Willow Deity Dojo," said Wang Xian to the Mi-Shin deer. He was in a great mood as he looked at the magnificent ocean. "Brother Wang, you want to go to Willow Deity Dojo? Those who aren't disciples of Willow Deity Dojo can't enter," the hart deer said to him. "Don't worry. I'll join Willow Deity Dojo now." Wang Xian chuckled. With a jerk of his body, he flew straight ahead. When he landed on the surface of the sea, he felt like a dragon swimming in the sea. The seawater pushed his body forward at a terrifying speed. His terrifying speed attracted the attention of the people around him. Their eyes were filled with respect. In the Milky Way, there were more than a dozen primary cosmos races and a few hundred domain-level races. Wang Xian's strength could be considered as a stabilizing existence among the domain-level races. He was also an expert here. However, with his strength, he wasn't qualified to be arrogant in the Milky Way. Stepping on the surface of the water, they overtook all kinds of ships. Wang Xian looked around curiously. Some of the ships weren't simple either. They could fight against 5th or 6th order god-emperors. Some ships had powerful arrays on them. Wang Xian guessed that once the arrays were activated, they could withstand attacks from 9th order god-emperors or even peak god-emperors. However, the number of such ships was small. After flying for half an hour, there were still many ships around them. Wang Xian even saw some people fishing in the sea. This piqued his curiosity. "Big brother Wang, anglers aren't rare in the Milky Way. On the contrary, there are many anglers. Some of the god-emperors even go fishing. Fishing can improve one's control, and it doesn't affect one's cultivation. In addition, one can also fish for the desolate beasts in the Milky Way. With good bait, one can catch extremely powerful desolate beasts. Of course, the prerequisite is that you have the strength to fish them up," Mi-Shin Lu explained when she saw Wang Xian's curiosity. "Is that so? Then I have to find out more about it." Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. "Yeah, that's what I've heard. However, I've seen videos of supremacies fishing on the AI." Mi-Shin Lu nodded her head. Supremacies fishing? Wang Xian was even more curious. It seemed like this fishing was completely different from what he had imagined. "We're here, Big Brother Wang. The Willow Deity Training Hall is in front. The supremacies are the most respected experts in the Milky Way. It's a pity that it's extremely difficult to join the Willow Deity Training Hall. Despite the size of the Milky Way, only 10,000 people have entered the training hall." Mi-Shin Lu pointed to the front. Her eyes were filled with anticipation. Clearly, she had heard of the famous Willow Deity Training Hall. Chapter 3036. An island could be described as a celestial island. The island wasn't huge, spanning at most 1,000 kilometers. 1,000 kilometers was a short distance for experts. The entire island was covered by lush branches. Looking from afar, the sky above the island was emitting white celestial chi. From the outside, one couldn't see what was going on inside the island. This was Willow Deity Dojo, a seemingly ordinary place. However, this was a sacred place for many cultivators. Willow Deity Dojo recruited disciples once every 1,000 years. However, only a few could enter this place. There might not even be one in 1,000 years. I heard that those branches are part of Willow Deity's body. I wonder if it's true. Mi-Shin Lu looked at the branches on the island ahead and said, "Let's go over." Wang Xian moved and immediately flew towards the direction of Willow Deity Dojo. "Brother Wang, there's still a year before the assessment of Willow Deity. Isn't it a little early for us to arrive? Moreover, we aren't disciples of Willow Deity Dojo and can't enter." Mi Xin Lu reminded him as he continued to fly forward. I know. I have something that can allow me to enter directly. Wang Xian shook his head and continued to approach Willow Deity Dojo. Swish. When he was only about 100 kilometers away from Willow Deity Dojo, a long branch with terrifying might pointed at him. Once he entered again, this branch might attack him. What a powerful aura. Wang Xian's eyes narrowed as he felt the terrifying power coming from the branch. This branch could kill him instantly. One should know that even peak Emperor God experts couldn't kill him. Right now, this branch was enough to give him the threat of death. No wonder it was the top expert in the Milky Way. Wang Xian thought to himself. He waved his arm and took out the branch that Ming Xuanji gave him. The branch was glowing and had the same aura as the branch in front of him. Willow Heart Branch. Those who possess the Willow Heart Branch can enter Willow Deity Dojo directly after the assessment. A voice rang out in the air, followed by the branches in front of them. The branch swept over and connected the Willow Heart Branch together. Wang. At the same time, a surge of energy filled with vitality landed on Wang Xian's head. Wang Xian didn't resist as he felt that the energy wasn't harmful. You've passed the test. Report your name. The energy quickly disappeared, and a voice came from the branch again. This surprised Wang Xian. The assessment was too fast. Greetings, Venerable Willow God. I'm Wang Xian. Wang Xian cupped his fist and bowed. Those who enter the Willow Deity Daoist field have no master and disciple relationship with me. Your luck is as such, you just need to follow the rules of the Willow Deity Daoist field. The branch said to him. Yes. Wang Xian nodded his head. Indeed, it was as the Universe AI said, entering Willow Deity Dojo had nothing to do with Willow Deity the Supreme. Venerable Willow Deity will not protect you anywhere else, nor will it accept disciples. Many people on the intelligence system could not guess the reason, and they could not guess why Willow Deity was like this. Peerless Tang Sectfo perhaps it was simply to nurture some experts. I'll bring you into the Willow Deity Daoist field. The little girl beside you is forbidden from entering the Daoist field. She can only stay on the outside. As the branch spoke, it grew bigger and came under Wang Xian. It then dragged him into the cave. As for the heart deer, it was directly sent to the island of the Willow Deity Dojo. When the heart deer saw Wang Xian becoming a disciple of the Willow Deity Dojo, she was shocked. Following which, her face was filled with joy. As a disciple of the Willow Deity Dojo, one would receive the protection of the Willow Deity Dojo. No matter what danger one encountered, one would be safe as long as they hid here. Every disciple of the Willow Deity Dojo could bring along 5 Dao children. Although the Dao children could not enter the core, they could stay on the outside. The outside was also under the protection of the Willow Deity Dojo. Even if she revealed her true form here, she would not be in any danger. Of course, it would be different once she was out of here. Everyone who enters the Willow Deity Dojo can obtain a treasure. There are 3 treasures in front of you. You can choose one. The branch brought Wang Xian to the center of the island. At this moment, the branch spoke. 3 treasures were floating in front of it. One was a leaf, and the leaf contained a powerful energy. The second was a drop of crystal clear liquid that contained a strong surge of vitality and energy. The third was a branch that was about a meter long. The branch also contained a strong surge of energy. However, this branch seemed to be made of a material. Falling leaf return. This willow leaf can break through any shackles below the universe supremacy level, allowing you to return to the Willow Deity Dojo instantly. Heart-flowing fluid can strengthen the God Kingdom and enhance one's life force recovery. This branch of mine can be forged into a fishing rod. Only the universe supremacy level can destroy it. Following which, the branch introduced the 3 items to him. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled when he heard the introduction. The Willow Deity of the Willow Deity Dojo was really generous. The first one was a life-saving treasure. The second one could enhance one's strength. It seemed like the third one would not be of much use and was just a powerful material. However, Wang Xian's eyes fell on the branch. Falling leaf return was useless to him. The heart-flowing fluid could enhance the dragon energy. However, The value of the heart-flowing fluid was at most comparable to a peak emperor god herb. On the other hand, this branch piqued his interest, especially after knowing that it could be used for fishing. "I'll choose this branch," Wang Xian said immediately. Swish. The other two treasures disappeared, leaving behind only a branch. "Many thanks for the gift, willow deity." Wang Xian cupped his fists and immediately kept the branch. Hualala. At this time, he came to a place covered by willow branches. When he arrived, the willow branches automatically spread out. Below him, there were houses formed by willow branches. Willow Deity Dojo has a new member, Wang Xian. The voice on the branch spread downwards, and some people walked out of the rooms with surprised and curious expressions on their faces. Hasn't the once-in-a-thousand-years assessment started? Why did someone come in? Which race? Is it a human or some other life form? A group of middle-aged youths walked out of the houses and looked up curiously. Wang Xian looked over and sensed the strength of most of them. There were First-Order God-Emperor Realm to Ninth-Order God-Emperor Realm. There were more than 3,000 of them. There were humans and other life forms from other races. They were only temporarily in human form. They looked at Wang Xian curiously, and Wang Xian looked back at them curiously. "Greetings, everyone." Wang Xian cupped his hands. Sensing the disappearance of the branch, he flew down immediately. The error-free chapters of the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System will continue to be updated on the mobile game bar. There will be no advertisements on the website. Please collect and recommend the mobile game bar. Please collect if you like the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3037, Willow Deity Dojo Group. Nice to meet you, Junior Brother Wang Xian. Haha, a newcomer. Junior Brother Wang Xian, it's not the assessment period now. How did you join Willow Deity Dojo? In Willow Deity Dojo, several young and middle-aged men greeted Wang Xian with smiles on their faces. 2 middle-aged men and 3 young men. Wang Xian swept his gaze across them and revealed a smile. "I got a willow heart by chance, so I joined Willow Deity Dojo," he replied politely. "Willow heart, I didn't expect Junior Brother Wang Xian to have such an opportunity. May I know which force you are from?" A middle-aged man with long hair and a folding fan walked over and asked with a smile. "An unaffiliated cultivator," Wang Xian replied with a smile. "Oh, an unaffiliated cultivator?" The few people who gathered around were shocked. "It's Junior Wang Xian's first time here. Let's celebrate at Yu Hai Tavern." At this time, an old man flew over and announced loudly with a smile on his face. "Wow, thank you, Senior Brother Gentleman. Haha, we're in luck. Thank you, Senior Brother Gentleman." The surrounding disciples of Willow Deity Dojo said happily. "Huh." Wang Junbao looked at the old man and hesitated for a moment before cupping his fist. "Thank you, Senior Brother Gentleman. You're welcome. Junior Brother Wang Xian is new here. We came earlier than you, so it's only natural for us to treat you well. Junior Brother, you can carve your name there. It's also a tradition of Willow Deity Dojo." Senior Brother Gentleman pointed to the front and said. Wang Xian looked over and saw a huge wooden board with names carved on it. There were more than 10,000 names on it. Wang Xian waved his arm and left his name on it. "Welcome to the big family of Willow Deity Dojo. Let's go, Yu Hai Tavern." Senior Brother Gentleman laughed and waved his hand. "TSK TSK TSK, let's go. Senior Brother Gentleman is treating us. We can have a good meal now." There were more than 3,000 disciples in Willow Deity Dojo, and at least 1,000 of them followed. "Junior Brother Wang Xian, follow me," Senior Brother Gentleman said as he led Wang Xian to the periphery. The Willow Deity Dojo was very small. After flying for tens of seconds, they arrived at a slightly bustling small market. It was a market with an area of tens of kilometers. There weren't many people inside. When some people saw them, their faces were filled with awe and envy. These were all Dao children, people who came in with the disciples of the Willow Deity Daoist grounds. They lived here and served their followers. "Boss, I'm booking out Yu Hai's Tavern today to celebrate Junior Martial Brothers joining us. If your tavern has anything, bring it all up. The group of people flew into a luxurious courtyard. The scenery in the courtyard was very beautiful, with a small rock garden and a small fountain. Yes, sir gentlemen. The owner of Yu Hai's tavern immediately greeted them respectfully when he saw them. Junior brother Wang Xian, this is the best tavern in Willow Deity Dojo. The alcohol here is brewed with diluted heart fluid. The food here is all made from God Emperor level aquatic wild beasts. It's definitely comparable to the top-notch taverns in the Milky Way. It's only because our senior brother gentleman is rich. If it were us, it would be good if we could eat here once a month. This time, we've benefited from junior brother, ha ha ha. A chubby middle-aged man walked to Wang Xian and said with a smile. Oh, really? In that case, I have to thank senior brother gentleman. Wang Xian smiled and said. He, our senior brother gentleman is famous for being a good person in Willow Deity Dojo. The chubby middle-aged man smiled and patted his shoulder. You'll know after staying here for a few more days. Wang Xian nodded and looked at senior brother gentleman in front of him. From his senses, he had the strength of a peak emperor god. He was the strongest person he had seen in Willow Deity Dojo. Once a disciple of Willow Deity Dojo broke through to the level of a universe supremacy, he would be automatically sent out. This was one of the rules of Willow Deity Dojo. In addition, if a disciple of Willow Deity Dojo took up an important position in a race, he would also be sent out. As a neutral Willow Deity Dojo, disciples could come from various races, but they could not take up an important position in their race. This was the rule of Willow Deity Dojo. Wang Xian looked at the surrounding atmosphere and felt very relaxed. Come. Everyone, let's welcome junior brother Wang Xian. The dishes were served quickly. Senior brother gentleman raised his cup, walked to Wang Xian, and said with a hearty laugh. Great, welcome junior brother Wang Xian. Welcome. Haha, if you have any problems in the Milky Way in the future, you can look for me, old Tang. The disciples of Willow Deity Dojo said enthusiastically. Thank you, everyone. Please take care of me in the future. Wang Xian smiled and raised his cup to express his gratitude. He swept his gaze across everyone. He was very fond of such an atmosphere. Ever since he stepped into the universe, there were killings everywhere. Such a quiet and harmonious place was rare. You're welcome. The disciples chuckled. Thank you, senior brother gentleman. Wang Xian raised his cup and gave a toast to senior brother gentleman. You're welcome. If you have any problems in cultivation in the future, you can look for me. You can also look for others. Our friends here are all very enthusiastic. Senior brother gentleman shook his head nonchalantly. Wang Xian nodded and went to each table to give a toast. He still knew some etiquette. Since the other party was so enthusiastic, he couldn't be impolite. According to the realm detection stone, he's at the third order God Emperor realm. Let's see if we can rope him in. He's just an unaffiliated cultivator. If we give him enough benefits, he shouldn't reject us. However, I'm afraid some other races might try to rope him in. 10 people were seated at a dining table. They glanced at Wang Xian beside them and spoke. Junior brother Wang Xian, come over here. At this time, Wang Xian, who had just toasted all the disciples of Willow Deity Dojo, saw the chubby middle-aged man who had spoken to him just now greeting him. Junior brother Wang Xian, take a seat. You've just arrived and you're an unaffiliated cultivator. I'm guessing someone will invite you to join some forces later. Be prepared. Just as Wang Xian walked over, the chubby middle-aged man reminded him. Oh, invite me to join some forces? Wang Xian was astonished. Come. Let's have a good chat. Willow Deity Dojo isn't as harmonious as you think. In fact, there are dozens of small groups here. As for me, I'm also an unaffiliated cultivator like you. That's why I'm reminding you. The chubby middle-aged man said to him. He pointed to the rest of the people at the table and continued, and the people at our table. Those at the table beside us are all unaffiliated cultivators. They haven't joined any forces. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian pondered deeply. Chapter 30-38, 1 second to remember wonderful pop-up window free reading. Du Dalong was the name of the plump middle-aged man. He possessed the strength of a 7th-order god-emperor. From Du Dalong, Wang Xian understood some things about Willow Deity Dojo. The Willow Deity Dojo was not as simple as he had imagined. As one of the most famous grotto heavens in the Milky Way, it was a cultivation ground created by the top-notch expert Willow Deity. Naturally, all the major races wanted to send their disciples here to cultivate. Every time there was a disciple selection, the ones with the most number of people would be disciples from the 10 or so universe low-level clans as well as disciples from other domain-level clans. On the contrary, there were fewer unaffiliated disciples. There were more than 10,000 disciples in the Willow Deity Daoist field, and 95% of them belonged to the major races. There were only 500 to 600 true unaffiliated disciples. The rest all had their own clans and forces. And with their own clan's influence, there would be competition and disputes. This was especially true for some of the opposing factions. Naturally, their disciples in the Willow Deity Dojo were also opposing factions. Willow Deity Dojo disciples would often die. As for how he died, no one knew. Every unaffiliated disciple who entered the Willow Deity Dojo would definitely be roped in by these clans. After all, as long as one didn't die after entering the Willow Deity Dao ground, one could at least become an 8th-order God-Emperor realm expert. Who knows, one might even have the potential to become a venerable in the universe. Such a cultivator with limitless potential would naturally be roped in by all sides. Senior brother gentleman was also an unaffiliated cultivator. Thank you for telling me, senior brother Du Dalong. Wang Xian cupped his fists at Du Dalong. If Du Dalong hadn't told him, he wouldn't have known what was going on. Haha, it's just a small matter. Even if I don't say it, you'll find out in the future. It's up to you whether you want to join a faction or not. No one will say anything. Du Dalong smiled. Wang Xian nodded his head. He was naturally not interested in joining those forces. He had come here to improve his combat power to the venerable realm. He didn't care about anything else. The meal lasted for an hour. Wang Xian had gained some understanding of Willow Deity Dojo. After the meal, the group flew towards the cultivation dojo. There are empty cultivation rooms here. Junior brother Wang Xian, feel free to choose any of them. Du Dalong said as he pointed at the surrounding houses formed by the branches. Wang Xian nodded his head. He found a remote room and walked in immediately. Hey! After entering the small house, Wang Xian realized that it was a whole new world inside. There was an underground room under the house, which had an area of about 5,000 square meters. There was a praying mat in the center, a place to rest, and a private study room. It was empty, and there was nothing inside. From now on, this would be his cultivation room. Without his permission, no one would be able to enter. Is junior brother Wang Xian around? We're here to pay a visit. At this moment, a voice came from outside. Wang Xian was curious and immediately opened the door to take a look. A woman walked in with a smile on her face. Junior brother Wang Xian, did I disturb you? The woman came in, her face full of smiles. No, I don't. May I know who this senior sister is? Wang Xian looked at her curiously. Junior brother Wang Xian, I'll get straight to the point. I'm representing the Water Shadow Tribe and would like to invite you to join us. Universe Primary Race, Water Shadow Race. The woman represented her race and invited Wang Xian to join them. She even promised him a lot of benefits and cultivation resources. Wang Xian chatted with him for a while. After rejecting him, he asked him to leave. The woman did not get angry and left her contact information. Following which, other forces came to invite him but were all rejected by Wang Xian. Out of helplessness, he hung a sign at the door saying that he would not join any forces. After hanging the sign, he felt much more relaxed. After contacting the Mi Xin Lu, she happily told him that she had built a room beside the small market outside. It was very quiet. Wang Xian chuckled and allowed her to continue her cultivation. After which, he took out the Universe AI and checked the group he had just joined. There was a lot of information in the Willow Deity Dojo Disciple Communication Group. All of them were written by the disciples of Willow Deity Dojo. Speaking of which, although Willow Deity Dojo was divided into many groups with the major races behind them, they were able to join in the beginning because they had good temperaments. At least there wouldn't be people with ulterior motives or evil intentions. In the group, there were the cultivation experiences of Willow Deity Dojo and some information about the Milky Way. Found it. After checking it, Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked at the information on it. Angling arts. Wang Xian was very interested in angling in the Milky Way, especially after hearing a thing or two about it. After opening the information, Wang Xian immediately checked it. No wonder there are so many people angling. After reading through the basic information, Wang Xian mumbled to himself. The most attractive thing about angling was that it was safe. It was very safe. Within the vast Milky Way, there were countless marine life forms. There were also quite a number of supremacies. The Milky Way was extremely dangerous. This was the territory of the marine life forms. If one entered recklessly to hunt, one might become the prey. In particular, some powerful marine life forms could merge with the seawater. Even god emperors wouldn't be able to sense them. If ambushed, even an 8th or 9th order god emperor could be killed instantly. There were even supremacies that fell in the Milky Way. One could imagine how dangerous it was inside. However, angling was dozens of times safer. Angling was about forging a fishing rod that was one with the user. With one's own energy as the line and some treasures as the bait, one could fish in the Milky Way. The range of angling was very wide. Once the marine life forms at the bottom of the sea swallowed the bait, one could immediately catch them and fight from afar. If the marine life forms at the bottom of the sea were too strong, one could cut off the bait and escape. There wasn't too much risk, and there were opportunities to hunt powerful marine life forms. It could also increase one's control over energy and combat experience. This was the reason why there were so many anglers. This angling is not bad. It's useful to me too. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. His current cultivation was at the 3rd order god emperor realm. When he entered the Willow Deity Dojo, he only revealed the aura of a 3rd order god emperor. Even the strongest detection divine tool would not be able to detect his aura. After all, his cultivation was only at the 3rd order god emperor realm. As a 3rd order god emperor, he could directly control all marine life forms within 100 million kilometers. This range could be considered very wide. However, Wang Xian's current attack could only cover 1 billion kilometers. Perhaps the speed of him hunting marine life forms in the Milky Way was slower than the speed of angling. There were still dangers in the Milky Way, but the danger above was very low. I'll forge a fishing rod myself and try it out in the Milky Way. Whether I can improve quickly depends on my fishing speed. If it doesn't work, I'll hunt in the Milky Way myself. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he made up his mind. Chapter 3039. The fishing rod was extremely important to an angler. The extension and endurance of energy were all dependent on the fishing rod. First, one had to refine the fishing rod completely and make it a part of his body. Only then could he control it with ease and transfer the energy to the fishing rod to form a fishing line. It could be said that the fishing rod was equivalent to an angler's weapon. Moreover, the fishing rod had to be refined and strengthened. A powerful fishing rod would have special effects. Wang Xian took the branch of Willow Deity and felt it with his hands. Given his current combat strength, he couldn't destroy this branch at all. The branch had strong energy conductivity. Just like what Willow Deity had said, this branch was very suitable to be used as a fishing rod. First, I have to refine it. This will take some time. Wang Xian murmured. To do a good job, one must first sharpen his tools. From the information, he knew the importance of a fishing rod. Wang Xian didn't hesitate and immediately started refining according to the method of refining the fishing rod. Days passed and Wang Xian remained in seclusion in his room. The spiritual energy in the room was extremely high. Even for a peak God Emperor expert, this was a rare paradise. The news of Wang Xian hanging a sign in front of the door had also reached the ears of the other disciples of Willow Deity Dojo. The disciples of various races didn't pay much attention to it. On the other hand, The unaffiliated disciples revealed a smile on their faces. For them, they had one more friend who shared the same path. Phew, I've finally refined it completely. It took me 2 months. Wang Xian murmured with a smile on his face. He looked at the fishing rod in his hand. With just a thought, he could lengthen it. Based on his guess, the maximum length was about 10 million kilometers. In addition, he could condense the fishing line with energy and cover a radius of 1 billion kilometers. This was a terrifying area. Let's go take a look at the Milky Way. Wang Xian stood up and walked out immediately. Junior brother Wang Xian, where are you going? When he walked out of the room, Du Dalong happened to come out as well. I'm going fishing and hunting some dire beasts. Wang Xian replied. Fishing? It's safer. Du Dalong chuckled. Where are you going, senior brother Dalong? Wang Xian chuckled and asked. Let's go to the nearby planets and buy some resources. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Du Dalong, Wang Xian flew towards the market of Willow Deity Training Hall. Sensing the aura of the milk heart deer, he came to the front of a house. The construction of the house was quite beautiful. Mi Xin Lu, let's go. I'll take you for a stroll outside the Milky Way. Wang Xianchao stood at the door and transmitted his voice to her. Brother Wang, you're here. Upon hearing Wang Xian's voice, the heart-crushed deer flew out in surprise. Ever since Wang Xian saved her life and brought her to this place, she was filled with gratitude. When it heard that it was being brought out, it flew out excitedly. Go. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone shrunk to 10 meters in size and brought her into the Milky Way. Soon, they arrived at the surface of the Milky Way's sea. The 5 elements great grindstone floated above the water and rapidly flew towards the depths of the Milky Way. Brother Wang, where are we going now? Mi Xin Lu asked curiously. Go fishing. I might need you to do something later, Wang Xian said to her. Fishing? Fishing is very interesting, the Mi Xin deer said with a happy face. Standing on the 5 elements grindstone, Wang Xian was in a good mood as he was surrounded by the boundless ocean. It had been a long time since he flew in such a vast ocean. The place where Wang Xian was going to fish was some distance away from Willow Deity Training Hall. As a venerable training hall, no powerful aquatic creatures dared to come close. While flying in the Milky Way, Wang Xian could occasionally see some powerful ships and powerful underwater divine weapons. From time to time, he could see experts fishing on the surface of the sea. Wang Xian continued flying forward. Brother Wang, we are already very far in. After flying for 5 hours, the heart-crushed deer saw that there was no one around. Below them was the deep ocean and she was a little afraid. In particular, she could sense waves of horrifying aura from time to time. Some of the aura made her heart palpitate. We're almost there. This is indeed the Milky Way. There are so many horrifying aquatic creatures here. Wang Xian exclaimed. Water is the source of life. Most of the creatures are in the ocean, said the heart-crushed deer. Let's fish here for the first time. I wonder how many dire beasts we can catch. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. With a wave of his arm, the fishing rod appeared in his hand. Next is the bait, he murmured. Fishing required bait. The stronger the bait, the more aquatic creatures would be attracted. The bait could be the flesh of powerful dire beasts or divine herbs. Dragon blood should have a strong attraction. Wang Xian murmured. Back in the abyss, he used dragon blood to attract the abyss species. Dragon blood had a fatal attraction to any dire beast. He waved his palm and a large amount of dragon blood flowed out. The dragon blood condensed into the shape of a fish. This is. The heart-crushed deer, who was at the side, felt the pressure from the dragon blood and her body trembled. Her eyes were filled with respect and passion. She swung the fishing rod in her hand and waves of energy condensed into a line. The line wrapped around the arowana made of dragon blood. Crash! The arowana shook its body and dived into the Milky Way below and swam around. Under Wang Xian's control, the speed of the small fish was extremely fast. Soon, it dived hundreds of millions of kilometers into the sea. Through the arowana, Wang Xian sensed the surrounding situation. The aura of a fish made of dragon blood was fatal to any aquatic creature. Wang Xian transformed into a stool and sat on it. He closed his eyes and sensed the surroundings. The heart-crushed deer watched curiously from the side. It's here. In less than a minute, Wang Xian sensed that the arowana had been targeted by an aquatic creature. This aquatic wild beast was only at the 9th level God King realm. When it saw the small fish made of dragon blood, greed flashed in its eyes and it immediately chased after it. However, Wang Xian was not interested in such a weak aquatic creature. He ordered the arowana to swim quickly. Roar roar. Wang Xian could vaguely hear a dull thud. Immediately, he sensed a powerful wild beast in the water attacking the arowana. Moreover, the surrounding atmosphere changed as waves of aura locked onto the arowana. Wang Xian ignored it and continued to control the arowana to swim within the limits of his control. He could vaguely sense that more and more aquatic wild beasts were locking onto the arowana. This fishing method is even more convenient than entering the sea myself. Moreover, the risk is extremely low. Wang Xian sensed this and his eyes were filled with excitement. Chapter 3040. You can search for Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System on Baidu. Wonderbrush Pavilion, to find the latest chapter. Above the Milky Way, Wang Xian, who was sitting on the 5 elements grindstone, squinted his eyes. Under his senses, the arowana was fleeing frantically within a radius of 1 billion kilometers. Around him, some marine animals locked their burning eyes on the arowana as they chased after it. More and more marine animals appeared behind and around him. All the marine animals in the vicinity were attracted. Wang Xian revealed a smile as he sensed the strength of the marine animals below him that had locked onto the arowana. Rumble, rumble. The surface of the sea began to change. The already turbulent seawater became even more violent. The 5 elements grindstone was like a weak sailboat that could be overturned at any time. From below the Milky Way, a terrifying aura could be felt. Brother Wang, what's happening? My Xin deer sensed the changes in the surrounding seawater and was horrified. The terrifying aura below made her scalp numb. I'm going to reap the rewards. Wang Xian revealed a smile. He placed both his hands on the 5 elements grindstone. Waves of energy surged into the grindstone. At the same time, the energy turned into chains of various colors that extended downwards in all directions. Countless chains, which looked like a huge fishing net, were cast downwards. Rumble, rumble, rumble. At this moment, a terrifying roar and bombardment came from below. Within a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers, towering waves were set off. The huge waves reached millions of kilometers into the sky. Wang Xian stood on the 5 elements grindstone and revealed a faint smile. My Xin deer stared blankly at this scene. She could sense that there were tens of thousands of marine animals below. The weaker marine animals were only at the God King realm, while the stronger ones had reached the 8th order God Emperor realm. That aura made her heart palpitate. However, there were many chains surrounding all the aquatic creatures. The chains formed a huge net that covered the sky and swept towards them. It was like a fishing net that was about to catch all of them. This. My Xin deer stared with her eyes wide open. Dragon eyes lock, lock. Wang Xian's eyes emitted a terrifying aura as he locked onto those aquatic wild beasts that were trying to escape back to their nests. Hualala. The chains coiled around all the aquatic creatures like dragons and pythons. Roar. Jiji. Horrified screams came from below. Wang Xian waved his arm. Boom. All of a sudden, more than 10,000 aquatic creatures were thrown out of the sea, floating on the surface of the sea. The largest one was tens of thousands of meters in size. Not bad, 1 8th order God Emperor realm, 3 7th order God Emperors, and over 100 God Emperor realm beasts. The rest are all God Emperor level. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and revealed a smile. Easily harvesting so many dire beasts was even more convenient than entering the Milky Way. Roar. Wang Xian opened his mouth and let out a dragon roar. One by one, the God Emperor level marine animals flew into his mouth. All aquatic creatures below the level of God Emperor entered his stomach and turned into dragon energy. To the current him, it was rather rare. Wang. Subsequently, he unleashed his dragon might. All the 1st and 2nd order God Emperor realm beasts trembled in fear as they let out a low growl. They flew towards Wang Xian and lay at the side, not daring to move. If I sell them as battle pets, I can get 10 times more resources. Wang Xian looked at these God Emperor-level marine beasts and revealed a smile. He could devour these beasts directly. Compared to taming them and selling them, he could get 10 times more resources. Naturally, he wanted to tame these God Emperor-level beasts and sell them. The reason why he called Mi Xinlu over was to get her help with the marketing. Big Brother Wang, your divine dragon bloodline is so strong. Legend has it that a true divine dragon can rule over the aquatic creatures. Big Brother Wang, are you a true aquatic creature? Mi Xinlu looked at the scene in front of her in disbelief and asked in shock. Yes, you can follow me from now on. I'll give you some dragon blood to consume and I'll help you evolve into a powerful dragon species. Wang Xian didn't hide anything. A ball of dragon blood floated in front of the Mi Xin deer. He smiled and said directly, also, I have something for you to do. I want to tame these wild beasts. Advertise them on the universe AI and sell them. Mi Xinlu could feel the energy from the dragon blood and the fear in her bloodline. She quickly nodded and said, yes, Big Brother Wang. She reached out for the ball of dragon blood. Her body trembled as she opened her mouth and swallowed it. A scorching and rich bloodline power entered her body. The trace of divine dragon bloodline in her body seemed to have been activated as she absorbed it madly. Wang Xian swept a glance at her and revealed a faint smile. He gave her this ball of dragon blood to prevent her from spilling the beans. With this ball of dragon blood, Wang Xian would be able to grasp everything about Mi Xinlu. There were some things that he had to guard against. Moreover, this dragon blood was a great opportunity for her. You can focus on absorbing the dragon blood first. Wang Xian said to her. In a flash, he appeared in front of the 8th Order God Emperor Realm Marine Beast. This was an 8th Order God Emperor Realm Marine Beast. It was similar to a shark but looked much more terrifying. Moreover, it was a divine dragon with terrifying laws that could easily destroy a star. Wang Xian was no stranger to the art of taming even though this wild beast had the strength of an 8th Order God Emperor realm. However, it would still take some time to tame these wild beasts. But compared to the speed of others, Wang Xian's speed was definitely tens of thousands of times faster than ordinary beast tamers. Peak God Emperor Hong Tian took 1,000 years to tame an 8th Order God Emperor realm war pet. But Wang Xian only needed a day. In 10 consecutive days, Wang Xian had tamed all the wild beasts. At the side, Mi Xinlu had finished upgrading her bloodline. She sat at the side with excitement as she watched Wang Xian tame the war pet. She held the AI in her hand and took pictures and videos. Wang Xian wanted to sell the wild beasts as soon as possible. How is it? After taming the last wild beast, Wang Xian looked at Mi Xinlu and asked her. Big Brother Wang, many people are asking how they can get our war pet. Many of them want to buy it. Some are even willing to pay a high price. Mi Xinlu said excitedly. Hihi, let me reply to you. We will sell them in 2 months. I will inform you about how and where to sell them. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and said happily. It seemed like he had to return to his old profession. Selling his war pet would allow him to accumulate resources with a large number of war pets and increase his strength rapidly. If he was lucky, his strength would increase after selling all his war pets in 2 months. Chapter 3041. Continue. Wang Xian swung his arm and swung the fishing rod forward. The arowana swam its body and swam away. 10 days had passed. The wild beasts in the Milky Way were extremely active. 10 days ago, a radius of 1 billion kilometers had been harvested. Now, it had completely recovered. The 5 elements grindstone had expanded to a radius of 100,000 meters with tamed battle pets lying on it. Wang Xian sat on a chair leisurely. Beside him, Mi Xinlu held the AI and looked at Wang Xian and the surrounding wild beasts from time to time. Her eyes were filled with joy. Below, the arowana was flying rapidly in this part of the sea. The energy it contained was attracting the surrounding aquatic creatures. Soon, all the marine animals within 1 billion kilometers were attracted. They locked onto the arowana and chased after it. The harvest this time isn't as good as the previous time. Wang Xian sensed the wild beasts below him. There were more than 200 God Emperor realm wild beasts. However, the strongest was a 7th-order God Emperor. Wang Xian knew that no one would dare to step into the Milky Way if 8th-order God Emperor and 9th-order God Emperor realm wild beasts were everywhere. Even though he was deep in the Milky Way, he was still a long way from the center of the Milky Way. There were a few dangerous places in the Milky Way and the territories of some powerful wild beasts. As for the exact distance, he might have to fly for a few years. He was currently in a corner of the Milky Way. Hualala. Wang Xian controlled the arowana to fly upwards. With a wave of his arm, the chains formed a huge fishing net. You're here again? That's fast. Others only catch one wild beast in the water. Brother Wang, you catch tens of thousands in one go. When the Mishin deer saw this scene, her face lit up with excitement. She looked down excitedly. In fact, Wang Xian's fishing method was vastly different from others. Boom, boom, boom. The chains shrouded all the wild beasts at a terrifying speed. The chains shrunk. Bam, bam, bam. All the wild beasts were thrown onto the 5 elements grindstone. The chains and the energy emitted by the 5 elements grindstone made it impossible for them to escape to their nests. Wow, there are so many. Mi Xin Lu cheered. Brother Wang, our catching speed is too fast. Hehe, not bad. Wang Xian chuckled. He devoured all those below the God Emperor rank and began taming the rest. This time, he only took 7 days to tame it. After 7 days, he continued fishing. In less than 20 minutes, he would be able to catch 1 to 200 God Emperor class aquatic desolate beasts. They ranged from 1st order God Emperor realm to 8th order God Emperor realm. A month passed by quickly. The number of God Emperor wild beasts captured by Wang Xian had reached more than 1,000. 3 of them were at the 8th order God Emperor realm. It wasn't much, but it definitely wasn't little either. If others were to find out about such gains, they would definitely be extremely shocked. In particular, Wang Xian had tamed all the wild beasts in the water. However, selling all the desolate beasts he had tamed would not increase his strength. There was even a huge gap between them. It's still too little. Moreover, we haven't encountered a 9th order God Emperor realm wild beast in a month. Wang Xian frowned as he stood on the 5 elements grindstone. Without obtaining a 9th order God Emperor realm desolate beast, Huang Xiaolong's advancement was still a long way off. Only by selling a few 9th order God Emperor realm desolate beasts would he be able to break through. Come, let's go to the right. Wang Xian decided to change his position. He controlled the 5 elements grindstone to fly to the right. The Mishin deer stroked a soft battle pet as it followed by the side with a smile on its face. The 5 elements grindstone sped along at high speed. Wang Xian stood at the front and looked at the waves ahead. However, after the grindstone flew for an hour, Wang Xian suddenly looked ahead with glistening eyes. Ah, big brother Wang, look ahead. What's that? The Mishin deer also noticed the commotion in front of it. It widened its eyes and revealed a surprised expression. Our luck is really good. Wang Xian looked ahead with a smile on his face. On the surface of the sea, there was a school of fish swimming towards them. This was a type of fish-type desolate beast with wings and a sharp head. There were more than 10,000 of these fish-type desolate beasts. Most importantly, these fish-type desolate beasts were all at the 1st order God Emperor realm. More than 10,000 1st order God Emperor fish were worth quite a lot. It was as if money was flying towards him. Wang Xian squinted his eyes slightly. The school of fish had also noticed Wang Xian and the rest. They moved and dove into the water below. Boom! Wang Xian's aura fluctuated as a terrifying dragon might engulfed them. The absolute rule of the divine dragon covered the entire school of fish. Buzz buzz! All the fish-type desolate beasts in the school trembled and continued to fly towards Wang Xian. Swish swish swish! At this time, 2 ships were flying towards them at a terrifying speed. There was only the sound of the ships slicing through the air and nothing else. The 2 ships weren't huge. Each of them was about 1,000 meters long. On the deck of the ships, there were several young and middle-aged men. Oh no, there's someone in front. When the people on the two ships saw the figure in front of them, their expressions changed. They had been following the school of fish for half an hour and were preparing to capture them. Unexpectedly, there was someone in front of them. This caused their expressions to change. Look, the figure on the deck is using a strange method to capture all the fish. What ability is that? Charm? Array formation? Why didn't the school of fish escape? Why didn't they resist at all? On the ships, the expressions of the people changed. Let's go over. The few middle-aged men in the lead ordered without hesitation. Swish, swish, swish. The two ships sped up. They're here. Did they lock on to this school of fish? On the Five Elements Great Grinder, Wang Xian had already noticed the two ships. When he saw the ships approaching, he revealed a vigilant look. The heart deer was also staring at the two ships with vigilance. However, when the two ships approached, Wang Xian saw a few familiar figures. The newcomer. On the two ships, the few middle-aged men recognized Wang Xian when they saw him on the Five Elements Great Grinder. Junior brother Wang Xian, what a coincidence. The ships stopped in front of Wang Xian. A middle-aged man on the ships greeted Wang Xian. Yeah, what a coincidence. Are you guys here to fish too?